Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Diodati, and welcome back to my review of Doctor Who Series 12. This week we're reviewing the next episode, which is called The Haunting of Villa D... For God's sake, I've been practicing that name. Let's try that again. The Night of Villa Diodati. First off, there's going to be spoilers, and this is definitely not an episode you're going to want to miss. So I want to talk about all the beginning parts of the episode. I think that the cast that they had playing the young versions of their historical counterparts, I bit my tongue in the middle of that line. I think that everyone that they had as their historical counterparts was doing a really, really good job. I think throughout this entire episode, everyone was doing a great job. Jodie in particular is doing a great job in this episode. I think that this could be one of her best performances throughout the entire series. Definitely much better than Series 11. And she's just doing a great job. She's having more to work with as well, which is a good thing. Because, you know, if you've got an arc, something for the character to be concerned, to be passionate about, then you have a reason to have this drama, which is what an actor needs in order to perform. I think that the ghost stuff was really cool as well. I think that, you know, the flashes of light and stuff like that is not a new thing. You know, you see it in tons of ghost shows. They always, you know, Sarah Jane Adventures, for example, had tons of sort of flashing lightning, and it would show things. But I think that how they incorporated that into the whole episode was really nice, and it wasn't just there for, you know, style purposes. It was there for like a substance purpose. And I like how ghosts are kind of real, and it leaves it kind of open to that interpretation, as all ghost stories should. The companions were a bit of a loose end this week. I think that it wasn't their time. They had last week. This was the Doctor episode, and I'm perfectly fine with it being in their place. I liked how they were trying to warn her, but the Doctor was giving none of it, wasn't having any of it, and she was saying, you know, at the end of the day, I am alone. I feel like that's what she was trying to say. I don't know, she speaks very quickly. But the whole sort of atmosphere of the episode meant that I was really interested and really excited to see what would happen, even though, you know, if you looked on Twitter, whatever, maybe an hour beforehand, they reposted the whole Lone Cyberman thing, and it was like, remember what Jack said, and I'm referring to the Doctor Who Twitter page, and they reposted that, which kind of made everyone think, that can't be a coincidence. But as the Cybermen are my favourite creatures, I was extremely happy to see them back. And I was, even though I kind of saw it coming for about an hour before it happened, you know, I was still really happy. The design for this Cyberman, I think, is way better than our other designs, right? I think that there is something always human about a Cyberman that I really like. And this is why I really, really love the Cyberman. Don't think I've told you that enough. Because you have the element of sort of body horror and the idea that, you know, inside of that metal mask without any emotions there is a person, or the dismembered parts of a person within there, and this can happen to any human. You know, and I like, especially in episodes such as Rise of the Cybermen, Age of Steel, which are my favourite episodes, they kind of lend themselves to showing you the aftermath of that. You know, like what happens when your family, your friends become Cybermen. And maybe I took that interpretation a little bit too far. It almost feels like they kind of stopped caring about what is it within that suit, and now having that side exposed has kind of lent it to that body horror that I really like. You know, the line which the Cyberman's talking about, you know, how its family, it rejoined the resistance, and then it slit its throat, the family's throats for it. I think that was a pretty dark line, and something that I just loved. I actually found this Cyberman scary for once. There's a moment with the butler that I actually jumped at because it was actually quite terrifying. You know, seeing this thing, imagining this thing lumbering down your room in the middle of the night would be terrifying, and, you know, for once I feel like I'm actually scared of a Doctor Who villain. So I've got a couple of little criticisms. I wouldn't say I have massive ones. I feel like at the beginning they didn't do a good job of trying to introduce you to all these characters. I think that they kind of start off the episode and they expect you to know who's who, and they do quite a poor job at that. Like, throughout the episode I'm kind of wondering, is Mary Shelley actually Shelley at this point? Is she married? You know, like, I imagine she is, but they didn't explicitly tell me this at the beginning of the episode. You know, there's that scene which is quite clever about them sort of dancing around and talking to each other, but at the end of the day we're not getting anything from that because it's too frantic, it's too fast. I can't physically process that quick enough. I also think it's a slight missed opportunity. This is like proper nitpick, that we didn't get more time with Percy Shelley in order to establish him as a character. We see him, we understand that he's in trouble, so the Doctor has to save him. But if, you know, the Doctor was, if this was put into something like Yaz at the start of the episode, you know, if Yaz was in danger, then the Doctor would have to save Yaz. But I understand, you know, the Doctor needs to save history before she saves anything else. So this still makes sense. Either way, it's just like my preference. So I can't wait to see where all this goes. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe if you were new. I'm going to really miss Doctor Who when it goes off in a couple of weeks. I'm going to miss creating videos every week for this. The amount of theories and stuff that is flowing through my brain constantly is brilliant. One part makes me really, really want to see, you know, the ending of this. The other part really wants me to keep the series going. Like, I just want to see more and more of Doctor Who. I don't want to have another break, etc. Even though this break isn't actually that big. Oh, little like side thing, just as a bit of a plug. I was thinking that my Lego Doctor Who episode, Beyond Human, is coming out next Sunday, which is the 23rd, or is that Saturday? It's coming out next week. I believe it's during the weekend. And it's a Cyberman episode, and I'm kind of playing on the body horror stuff, because that's what I like about the Cybermen. Conveniently, I've been kind of ripped off, but obviously I credit it first, so. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.